everybody, Tommy here coming at you with a fun one today because it's fleet update day. In this video I want to tell you what is going on in the TFL fleet, what is sticking around, what is selling very soon, what is being traded in, what's broken, a lot of stuff's broken, what has been very reliable, and everything in between. Let's get right into it. Now, I want to start the fleet update with this little guy. He has been off of camera for quite some time, just chilling out at home. So this is Blaze. This is our Bernese Mountain Dog puppy. Isn't that right, Blaze? Can you come? Come on, Blaze. Can you sit? Oh, what a good sit. So Blaze we got in 2020. He is my family dog, and he was definitely a fixer-upper when we got him. He had parvo, which is this really dangerous disease for puppies, but he also had double pneumonia and worms. And since then, that breeder has actually been shut down, put out of business. There was a court case filed against her, and it was just a whole thing. But Blaze has turned out to be such a good dog. This is just the best dog anyone can ask for. And of course, everyone's dog is the best dog according to the owner, but genuinely the Bernese Mountain Dog, so incredibly friendly and loving and loyal, and just always by your side. Very reliable too. He never breaks down, he never leaks. Just really, really great. You can leave him at home. He has never destroyed anything in our house. Of course, he's got his problems. He does jump sometimes, which is scary when you're dealing with a 95-pound dog. But overall, what a great member of the family. He loves to do this, the between the legs. That's his go-to move. Anyways, Blaze is crushing it. He'll be in more videos when the weather starts to cool down. It's really hard to keep him cool in the summertime because he runs a little hot. Yeah, his cooling system's not really set up for summer times, but just killing it. Lovely, lovely dog. And here we have some of the members of the TFL long-term fleet. So we got some stuff in here, got some stuff outside which we can talk about, some motorcycle stuff and what's going on. And we'll start with this truck. This is our long-term Chevy Silverado ZR2. Now the way we work here at TFL is sometimes the manufacturers lend us trucks for like a week or two. That's the vast majority of the ways we review the trucks. Sometimes we go out and buy them for like a longer term test, or if it's a truck that's really special and hot to the market. And then sometimes we borrow them from viewers. This is one of the cases where we actually went out and bought this truck, and it is the off-road Silverado. It has been magical. What a fantastic truck. Now, front and rear locking differentials. I have taken this thing through some insanely difficult stuff. Definitely check out the Taming Tumbleweed series, where we took this thing through hella deep mud, and it's just amazing what it'll do. I know it's maybe not quite up to the level of the Raptor in terms of the wide body kit and the engine changes, but it is one of the best factory full-size rock crawlers out there. It's got incredible traction, good clearance, great approach angles, pretty good departure angles. The underbody protection is definitely up to a point where I'm very impressed. It's comfortable on the inside. This truck has the newest and the latest and the greatest of Chevrolet interior. The new screen is great with the Google connectivity and the Alexa connectivity. The seats are much better than previous Silverados I've driven. Lovely. I think the MSRP on this truck was $67K, although since we bought it, they've gotten a little bit more expensive. I think now the ZR2 starts at around 70-ish if you wanted to get this exact trim. But it's going away here shortly. Which seems like I'm contradicting everything I just said, but what you have to keep in mind here is we're not in the business of collecting cars. We certainly don't make money buying and selling them. We actually do a really good job of losing money buying and selling cars. But of course, we want to keep you guys up to date with the latest and the greatest and the freshest trucks. And we've towed with this thing really heavy. We've taken it off-road. It's been to Moab. So in terms of content, there's not a whole lot more we can do with it. And I'd love to keep it to like 100 to 150,000 miles, but it doesn't make financial sense for us to hold on to a truck that long when there's newer stuff in the works. So this is getting traded in on something pretty special, and you have to stay tuned for that because it's probably not what you think, but it's definitely a truck, and it's definitely a little bigger than this. But overall, fantastic truck. Highly recommend it. Now, moving to the car side of things, this is our long-term 2013 Golf R. So sometimes we like to do these used projects too, kind of collector cars that are depreciated or interesting cars that are more affordable. This thing I think we paid like $19,000 for, and we've had it for a number of months now. Another fun hot hatch. This has got a manual transmission, all-wheel drive, and highly underrated in the world of kind of enthusiast hot hatches, but it's going up for sale, actually selling today over at tflbids.com. We've got a little auction site where we sell these long-term vehicles. Check it out if you want to buy it. It's pretty clean, low owner. I think we're the second owner overall, like 80-some thousand miles. Keep it nice and locked up, of course. Just not very useful when I'm doing my video, but manual transmission, been very reliable. It's in pretty good shape overall, and such a fun little pocket rocket. We did a few videos with it, but it's time to move it on to a new owner. So that's the story with the Golf R over at TFL Bids. Now the Bronco. We've had this thing for over a year now. It's first edition Ford Bronco with the Sasquatch package. This was the one we did with the Ronald McDonald House, a fantastic organization. This Bronco is phenomenal. This is one of the few vehicles that we've kept for more than like a year just because we get a lot of use out of it. Makes a great camera support vehicle. It's really comfortable on road trips. It's great off-road, and it's just been killing it. Now, some updates on the Bronco. This is our new replacement hardtop. So if you recall, the first hardtop had this problem where it would kind of tick and pop and make all sorts of bad noises when you're driving down the road. Well, of course, the remedy to that was the Ford MIC 2.0 hardtop. And that's what we got installed right here, and it is better. Much better made. It doesn't rattle nearly as badly as the first top did. And unfortunately, well, depends who you ask. Some people think those early tops are going to be collector's items, but we gave that back to Ford, and I've heard through the grapevine that Ford actually crushes those tops when you give them back to them because they don't want them in consumers' hands. But they actually kept the glass from the original top and just transferred it, the rear glass, to this new top. It did take a bunch of months to get in, though. It was quite a long wait to get it, but definitely worth it. And then we are currently running this Best Top Sunrider up front. And this is a system where you undo a couple of latches and pull it back, and then you've got kind of a best of both worlds, right? You get a little bit of super easy convertible access, but then you get a lot of the sound deadening and the kind of security that the hardtop brings. I really am pretty happy with that Best Top product. But yeah, the Bronco been killing it. Other than some rock rash on the wheels and underneath, it's just been great. Now there's going to be 100,000 comments about the 2.7 liter engine, right? Because there have been a few reported failures of those. And you're probably wondering, why haven't you done a video about them? Because we just don't know the scope, guys. A lot of it is hearsay, right? A lot of it's based on speculation and what folks are saying on the forum. And we don't want to go out and do a video and say, there's Broncos exploding left and right, and have it just be a few dozen or a pretty small number of Broncos. So once we know what the official word is from Ford on how many are affected, if a number are affected, then we'll be sure to report back. But I've asked Ford. They said they're looking into it, and engine failures, of course, are covered under the factory warranty. So that was what they told me recently. But this one, I think, is going to stick around in the fleet because it's just so useful. It's kind of our camera rig when we go off-road. Not too much to do to it. It's got 35-inch tall tires from the factory. It goes everywhere. Maybe eventually a winch on the front of it. I don't like this push bar thing. It's just not super useful, and I think in a fender bender, you'd actually end up doing more damage with this to your own vehicle, taking out the grill and the hood, than you would without it. But apart from that, they killed it on the Bronco. Fuel economy, 17, 18 miles per gallon. Nothing incredible, but not bad at all. Now, let's keep going back. This is a Cadillac Escalade that we used in the Go Big video series. This recently sold on TFL Bids. So we've got the new owner coming by tomorrow to pick it up and collect it. That's what the running boards are doing over there. Let's go to this vehicle. I just love these old GM products. They have a special place in my heart, be it the GMT 400 from the 90s or the GMT 800s from the early 2000s. They just feel indestructible. This has got the 6-liter engine. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable. This is like going to be the one I regret selling. And it's pretty clean for an 03 Cadillac. Most of these got driven hard, put away wet. It does smell a little funky in here still. We have tried ozoning it out. I believe our marketing guy Grant took it to a professional detailer, and that has helped. Still a little funky smelling in there, but love it. Runs great, drives great, tows great. Just a fantastic vehicle. I can't recommend second-gen Escalades enough if you want an affordable luxury vehicle, because they just last forever. Mini GP. So this is the Mini we bought. GP is a special edition. I got my hood number in, or my roof number in. These are numbered out of 2000. This is my personal car. And yeah, the idea with these was that they were supposed to be very track focused. And this one we bought in the height of COVID, kind of poorly. And then didn't do enough research, and it turned out to be kind of a mess from an engine standpoint and a body standpoint and everything. But even still, this car has been phenomenally reliable. Now, I have been autocrossing it, not as frequently this summer. I've been a little frustrated with the autocross thing because it's just so much time spent at a parking lot with 4 or 5 minutes of driving. So maybe I'll try a track day. I love the autocross community, though. Great folks. So I'm kind of torn on what to do. But I do drive it occasionally. Running great, actually. Reliability-wise, it's been fantastic. Minis have a reputation, and certainly some of that is well-founded. But if you can get like a 2012 and newer, especially 2014 and newer, they're very, very solid. They've really fixed a lot of the issues that the older ones had. Now, there's a lot of cars that we're kind of missing here, and they're kind of stored at a separate facility. So, FJ Cruiser, the Toyota, still around, still loving it. Probably not for much longer, just because it's not paying for itself, right? We can only, like I said, keep a car for so long, but gets quite a bit of use. Sometimes we bring it up to the ranch to do recoveries with and do some chores around the ranch. Fantastic vehicle. It was a 2014 we bought, still bone stock. Goes everywhere. If you want a good off-roader that will be dirt reliable, that's also interesting, you don't want a 4Runner, get an FJ Cruiser. Just love that vehicle. The tractor, the John Deere 1023E, I bought it for the Taming Tumbleweed series. That has been super useful at the ranch, not only for cutting grass, but for moving stuff around. I had to tow this ancient Land Rover off of a trailer the other day, and that little diesel engine worked great. We've got the Citroen 2CV up at the ranch. That's been amazing. Still running like a dream. The Porsche 911, which was the absolute basket case, that was a huge money pit, but it's working pretty good now. It's been knock on something, very, very reliable. The 944 Turbo, same thing. We've had pretty good luck with reliability on Porsches. Okay, good luck after you spend $20K in the 911. No, that was just because we bought it badly. And then we're working on an engine swap on an old 5 Series. We've got an M535 E28 5 Series. That's getting an M5 engine built, which has just turned out to be such a time sink, and it's so expensive. So that's what's going on there. Let's see what else. The Toyota FJ40, I think we're going to do an engine swap on. David's really excited about that. We looked into restoring the original 2F engine, but the price is just astronomical for parts, and it needs so much work. It's just going to be so much more cost effective to do a swap, and we got a cool swap in mind. David's really been brainstorming hard on that and talking to some folks in the know. That's going to be coming up. I've got let's see what else I got. I got my Volkswagen Beetle actually at home. I've put a ton of I've turned wrenches on the Volkswagen Beetle over at TFL Classics full update. Still my Classic Mini. It's been perfect. It's supposed to be an unreliable British car, and it just keeps trucking along, which is amazing. So that's been good. Personal vehicles. Andre still has his F-150 Power Boost. I don't think he's ever going to sell it. He loves it. Nathan actually bought my old WJ Grand Cherokee from the Go Big video series. So here's the logic, right? This is great economics. I bought it for $2,500, did the series, spent like another $2,300 on getting the transmission sorted, and then sell it for Nathan for way less than both of those. So that's how to lose money here. But it's a great vehicle. Nathan's really happy with it. What else? Andre's got his Power Boost. Nathan has the WJ Grand Cherokee. Case still has his really cool Cummins. Videographer Alex has a new Cummins, actually, a Tradesman, which is very cool. That's personal vehicles. Now, bikes. These are 2 long-term Hondas, the Honda Grom and the Honda CBR 500, and this is such a cool little project. If you haven't subscribed to our TFL Bike series, definitely do that. This is a Honda Trail 70 that the team restored, primarily a gentleman named Andy, and we're auctioning this off here very shortly, and that's going to a good cause. You definitely want to stay tuned to TFL Bids, but he spent over 70 hours on this thing. Look at that paint. That's factory paint, and it looked terrible when he first got it, and look how good it looks now. Same thing with the gauge cluster. You could barely read the numbers, and now it just looks amazing. So this thing's going to be auctioned off shortly. It's like a full engine out rebuild. Every nut and bolt has been gone through. Definitely check out the TFL Bike series on that, because the team did a great job on it. Now let's see what we got kicking around outside. So the team is currently actually right now in Alaska. So it's just me in the office, which is a weird feeling. Kind of unnerving. But yeah, the team is up in Alaska for the Amps to Alaska series with driving the F-150 Lightning all the way up to the northernmost point in Alaska. And David's up there as well. So it's kind of been empty around the office. This right here, that's just a long-term, no, short-term, I wish it was long-term, full-size Range Rover. Took it off-road here recently, coming to TFL Off-Road. And then the Ram truck, what an absolute beast. This is our Bighorn. Now, my dad was insistent on buying this a couple months ago for use around the ranch and for towing stuff, and I thought that was a silly idea because we had plenty of trucks kicking around. And this Cummins has been incredibly useful. So useful at everything. It's got like 6,600 miles on it in a couple months. It's one of our more driven vehicles, clearly, around the office. Everybody's been driving it and just towing the heck out of it. And it's just the biggest tool in the toolbox right now. So this thing gets driven hard. All right, it does have a casualty here. We were moving a Bronco top, a soft top, and totally scratched the heck out of this tailgate. It just came flying back and smacked it at like 55 miles an hour. That was a stupid error. Pretty big bummer, but what are you gonna do? Blazy, come on. Blazy's gonna fight me coming in. I know what he does. And then I've got my Wrangler still, my affordable Wrangler. Blazy, treat. Oh, now I gotta go get him a treat. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, affordable Wrangler, definitely sticking around, been killing it. And I think that's pretty much it around the office here. Let me know what you guys want to see, any particular projects. We got a lot more coming, a lot of fun stuff in the pipeline. We'll see you on the next video. Blazy, can you sit? All right, good boy. Let's go get you a treat. Good boy.